Hi, Uncle John here, and I'm going to go ahead and do another episode of Breath of the Wild. When we left off, we had just defeated the Jabai Shrine, and we're going to go ahead and resume from there. We still have two more shrines to do, and they are both already marked on our map. Check the screen for hints that will surely aid you on your journey. Well, that's a helpful hint, I guess. Okay, it wants to tell us how to change bows. Alright. Now we're getting lots of nice little monster parts, which will be quite useful for brewing up some potions or selling once we are off of the Great Plateau. Now we are going to need to get a pig or a bird killed as quickly as we can. Okay, we've got all the clothes we can carry. Actually, I'm going to show you a trick with bees. They run away from fire. So if you want to get some bee honey without getting stung, you can use a torch. peppers. So spicy meat and seafood fry. And a spicy elixir. I see you found my axe. Why not help me give it a few swings? I'm working up quite a sweat here, but these old bones could use a break. He wants us to cut down a tree, which we're going to use to get across here, but somewhere you can talk to the old man and actually get his warm doublet. That looks just like my perfect signature dish, a spicy meat and seafood fry. But how did you? Well, I suppose that's not important. Can I trouble you to share the recipe? Of course, Hyrule Bass. How could I have forgotten? Well done. Now please allow me to reward your culinary efforts with this warm doublet. With that, you might be able to resist the bite of colder environments. As for me, I know a great spicy meat and seafood fry recipe, so I can do without that warm doublet. So now we have the doublet to allow us to go through the cold area, which we will be getting to fairly shortly. But the reason for the little axe lesson was to tell us how to get across here. Let's go ahead and switch our weapons up. And I probably should have picked up some of those stamella shrooms. But this is possible to do without any endurance food. You just use the endurance that you actually have from naturally having it. And along cliff walls, there's often these rush rooms, which are very helpful if you want to make some haste food. We're just going to go ahead and stop here and rest to regain our stamina. We're just going to keep going step by step up to each subsequent platform. Which are why those stamella shrooms would have been really nice to have, or really nice to have cooked, but we're going to be fine. Oh dear. Well, that did not go as planned. I messed up a little bit in the middle of climbing that because I was checking on how my recording was doing actually, and missed a platform. Let's see if that... Okay, we still have the Worm Benevolent, so... Did not pull off the flurry rush. Here's another technique for getting apples out of difficult trees. Instead of cutting them down with an axe, you can just blow them up with the bomb, so that you have the bomb room. And if you blow up where you've already cut down a tree, then you can get wood for it. You can also do that by chopping it a second time with an axe. Okay, so dashing too many times is not good, but you can speed things up a little bit with it. And so we're just going to go ahead and pick up mushrooms. Rest again. Then I think we should be able to break it all the way to the top on this next push. Which is going to get us very close to the shrine that we're getting to, because we're practically right on top of it. It's just at the top of this hill. So now it's deactivated our pin, because we're that close. Unlike real life, if you try to make a jump when you're nearly exhausted, in Breath of the Wild, it will give you an extra push called a leap of faith. So here we're getting the stasis room. To you who sets foot in this shrine, I am Oadaim. In the name of the goddess Hylia, I offer this trial. Stasis trial. Oadaim shrine. Sheikah Slate authenticated. Distilling rune. And there we go. The stasis rune stops an object in time while storing its kinetic energy. The stored energy will act upon the object when the flow of time resumes. Making good use of stored energy can move even the largest of objects. We're going to get rid of a plain Boko Club. In the name of the goddess Hylia, I bestow upon you the spirit orb. That's 3. May the goddess Hylia smile upon you. Okay, and now we're going to put on our warm doublet. I probably shouldn't have used that jump there. So one nice thing about snow is that shield surfing doesn't do any damage to your shield in it. That was a little unfortunate. We didn't get any arrows from that. Well, we got one. I saw the third one. So you can't really cross that way. I was going to see if I could just tank the damage, but clearly I couldn't. We're going to go ahead and farm some arrows, actually. This is a trick that they actually introduced in Skyward Sword. can collect arrows by letting enemies shoot them into your wooden shield and picking them up when your shield breaks. And I have decided not to try to be cute. We're just going to go and do this the intended way. Korok leaf is more useful than another korok. Korok leaf has very low power. It's not very good for hitting enemies with, but it is an extremely useful weapon. White choo-choo jelly from Ice Choo-choos. Getting frozen by Ice Choo-choos purely sucks. Okay, that was not entirely as intended. This is the intended solution. I'm just not executing it particularly well. Let's see where the autosave took me, though. Back here. So we have 5 arrows. we're very close to the Shrine of Resurrection. I think we're actually not going to try and fight the choo-choos, we're just going to avoid them. And yes, there's a technique called whistle sprinting that we could be using here to get past them much faster, but it doesn't work in Tears of the Kingdom, and that's mostly what I've been playing lately, and I'm trying not to get myself into bad habits. So we are not going to be using whistle sprinting or many other of the speedrun techniques that have been discovered in Breath of the Wild that are not available in Tears. Platforming to get across, and now here we are across, and we just have to climb up to the last of our shrines that are on the Great Plateau, and this last one will be Cryonis, which is the power of ice, which of course is in a frozen wasteland. And I believe that there is a way to go around this. It's just going to be way faster to go straight up. We're going to need to go around here though, because straight up will take us into some water, and frozen water is bad news. Okay, so that gets us that camp taken care of. And extra steak. And now here we are at the Cadnamut Shrine. Let's just see how we do at the Cadnamut Shrine. To you who sets foot in this shrine, I am Cadnamut. In the name of the goddess Hylia, I offer this trial. Cryonis Trial, and Kenemet Shrine. Now, each of these shrines, even though there's a fairly obvious pathing that you're going to go through in a casual playthrough, is designed to be taken without using any of the other shrines devices. So we can create a pillar of ice from water, or destroy ice. You can do this under your own feet, or you can project it out. But sometimes you can use the runes from other shrines to make your life easier. That is the way in. Let's go ahead and drop this Boko Spear for the Traveler Spear. This Traveler Spear has slightly better attack than the Boko Spear does. But more importantly, it is much more durable. So we'll go ahead and take it. The Traveler's weapons tend to have very high durability. But weapon durability isn't always that important in Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, because you're going to get more weapons anyway. And this just makes having low durability on your weapons just means that you're going to get new ones sooner. Okay, in the name of the goddess Hylia, I bestow upon you this Spirit Orb. The last one we need. A symbol of courage given to those who have overcome the challenges of a shrine. That gives us 4, and now may the goddess smile upon us. And now here comes the old man. With this, you've now acquired all of the spirit orbs from the shrines on this plateau. Oh ho, extraordinarily stirred. That means it's finally time. Link, it's finally time for me to tell you everything, but first... Imagine an X on your map, with the 4 shrines as the endpoint. Find the spot where those lines intersect. I shall wait for you there. Do you understand? Where two lines connecting the shrines would cross. There, I will be waiting. Which, if you wanted to actually figure it out, be my guest. But I already know, and the fast way to get there is to cheat. Shrine of Resurrection. You know what? We've got a sledgehammer. Before we leave the plateau, I'm going to go ahead and beat a world boss. That way we won't have to come back for it when we're bug hunting at the post gate. Acorns. These fireflies can come in really handy, and you need them to upgrade certain types of armor. But they're scared off. Haven't picked any of that up. Hyrule herb. It's as good as the lowest tier of meat for restoring hearts, but it's not as valuable to sell. Here is the Great Plateau Stone Palace. And there goes the Great Plateau Stone Talus. Getting us some flint, amber, and rubies that will be very helpful to us when we leave the plateau. because they are all extremely valuable. Well, except for the flint, but the flint is at least useful. We're going to go ahead and go back to the Shrine of Resurrection because we are no longer very close to where we want to be. Some people don't think that's how easy it is to beat stone taluses, but it kind of really is. There are some tougher stone taluses, though. That's where we took our look out when we got out of the Shrine of Resurrection. We're going to go ahead and start collecting wood because there are some quests that require it. Opal. Gemstones are generally quite valuable. Arrows, those are useful. Let's go ahead and pray to the goddess. You who have conquered the shrines and claimed their spirit orbs, I can offer you great power. It appears that you have claimed 4 spirit orbs. In exchange for 4 spirit orbs, I will amplify your being. So tell me what it is that you desire. Heart container. That's what we would like first. I shall grant you the power you seek. My force has been strengthened, increasing your maximum number of hearts by 1. Go forth and bring peace to Hyrule.
Oh!
And now, after we do that, the old man comes and spies on us. The blessing of the goddess had made you that much more resilient, I see. Here I am. Get up here quickly. So, if you've been playing this long, you're generally going to think, oh yeah, let's just climb the building. But there's actually a ladder where you don't use any stamina.
Well done there, young one. Now then, the time has come to show you who I truly am. I was King Rome Bosphoramus Hyrule. I was the last leader of Hyrule, a kingdom which no longer exists. The Great Calamity was merciless. It devastated everything in its path, lo, a century ago. It was then that my life was taken away from me. And since that time, here I have remained in spirit form. I did not think it wise to overwhelm you while your memory was still fragile. So rather than that, I thought it best to assume a temporary form. Forgive me. I think you are now ready. Ready to hear what happened 100 years ago. To know Calamity Ganon's true form, one must know the story from an age long past. The Demon King was born into this kingdom, but his transformation into malice created the horror you see now. Stories of Ganon were passed from generation to generation in the form of legends and fairy tales. But there was also a prophecy. The signs of a resurrection of Calamity Ganon are clear, and the power to oppose it lies dormant beneath the ground. We decided to heed the prophecy and began excavating large areas of land. It wasn't long before we discovered several ancient relics made by the hands of our distant ancestors. These relics, the divine beasts, were giant machines piloted by warriors. We also found the Guardians, an army of mechanical soldiers who fought autonomously. This coincided with ancient legends, oft repeated throughout our land. We also learned of a princess with a sacred power, and her appointed knight, chosen by the sword that seals the darkness. It was they who sealed Ganon away using the power of these ancient relics. 100 years ago, there was a princess set to inherit a sacred power, and a skilled knight at her side. It was clear that we must follow our ancestors' path. We selected 4 skilled individuals from across Hyrule and tasked them with the duty of piloting the divine beasts. With the princess as their commander, we dubbed these pilots champions, a name that would solidify their unique bond. The princess, her appointed knight, and the rest of the champions were on the brink of sealing away Ganon. But nay. Ganon was cunning, and he responded with a plan beyond our imagining. He appeared from deep below Hyrule Castle, seized control of the Guardians and the Divine Beasts, turned against us. The champions lost their lives, those residing in the castle as well. The appointed knight, gravely wounded, collapsed while defending the princess. And thus, the kingdom of Hyrule was devastated absolutely by Calamity Ganon. However, the princess survived to face Ganon alone.
Link, you are our final hope. The fate of Hyrule rests with you.
That princess was my own daughter, my dear Zelda. And the courageous knight who protected her right up to the very end. That knight was none other than you, Link. You fought valiantly when your fate took an unfortunate turn. And then, you were taken to the Shrine of Resurrection. Here you now stand, revitalized 100 years later. The words of guidance you have been hearing since your awakening are from Princess Zelda herself. Even now, as she works to restrain Ganon from within Hyrule Castle, she calls out for your help. However, my daughter's power will soon be exhausted. Once that happens, Ganon will freely regenerate himself, and nothing will stop him from consuming our land. Considering that I could not save my own kingdom, I have no right to ask this of you, Link. But I am powerless here. You must save her, my daughter, and do whatever it takes to annihilate Ganon. Somehow, Ganon has maintained control over all 4 divine beasts, as well as those guardians swarming around Hyrule Castle. I believe it would be quite reckless for you to head directly to the castle at this point. I suggest that you make your way east out to one of the villages in the wilderness. Follow the road out to Kakariko Village. There you will find the Elder Impa. She will tell you more about the path that lies ahead. Consult the map on your Sheikah slate for the precise location of Kakariko Village. Make your way past the twin summits of the dueling peaks. From there, follow the road as it proceeds north.
Go on, here's the paraglider, just as I promised. The isolated plateau complete. With that, you should be able to safely fly off the cliffs surrounding this area. And I think that's it. I've told you everything I can. Link, you must save Hyrule. Sink out Impa. sauce.